Tomorrow morning, millions of dedicated, health-conscious adults over the age of 60 will wake up, put on their walking shoes, drink a glass of water, and head out the front door. They will walk 2, maybe 3 miles through their neighborhood or local park, all before they eat a single bite of breakfast. They do this because they read an article or watched a fitness guru claiming that exercising on an empty stomach, a concept called fasted cardio, is the ultimate secret to burning stubborn belly fat and staying lean. They come home feeling accomplished, but a few months later, they notice something terrifying. Despite walking every single day, their legs feel heavier and weaker. They feel slightly less stable on the stairs. They struggle to stand up from a low couch, and when they look in the mirror, their arms and legs are getting thinner, but the belly fat hasn't budged at all. If this sounds familiar, I need you to listen very closely. Walking is one of the most beautiful, natural movements a human being can do. But when you do it on a completely empty stomach after the age of 60, you are triggering a biological emergency inside your body. You are not burning belly fat. You are literally digesting your own muscle tissue to fuel your walk. You are sacrificing your independence, one morning step at a time. Welcome to Healthy Years. My name is Dr. Evermont. In my clinical practice, I see a devastating condition called sarcopenia, which is the age-related loss of muscle mass, happening at an alarming rate in seniors who consider themselves highly active. They are doing the work, but they are following biological rules that were designed for 25-year-old bodybuilders, not for an aging metabolism. The modern medical system rarely has the time to sit down and teach you the biomechanics of aging. Your doctor tells you to get your steps in, but they never explain the delicate chemical environment your body needs to actually benefit from those steps. On this channel, we don't settle for generic advice. We decode the biology of your body. Today, we are going to dive deep into the fascinating and slightly terrifying biochemistry of what happens when an older adult exercises on an empty stomach. I am going to introduce you to a biological process called gluconeogenesis. I will explain exactly why your body starts eating its own muscles and why this accelerates aging, ruins your balance, and destroys your metabolism. Most importantly, I will not leave you with a problem. I will give you the Healthy Years protocol, a precise, easy-to-follow method that will biologically flip the switch, protect your muscles, and guarantee that your morning walk actually makes you stronger. Before we unlock this science, I have a quick question for you. Please drop your age in the comments below and tell me, what time of day do you usually take your daily walk, and do you eat anything beforehand? I read your comments carefully, and your daily routines help me uncover the medical blind spots we need to address next on Healthy Years. Let's start that conversation down there right now. Let us dive straight into the biology of your muscles. To understand why a fasted walk is so dangerous, we first have to completely change the way you view your muscles. When most people think of muscle, they think of bodybuilders, or they think of vanity. In geriatric medicine, we view muscle entirely differently. Your skeletal muscle is not just for moving your limbs. Your muscle is your body's metabolic engine. It is the primary organ of longevity. Your muscles act as massive sponges that soak up excess sugar from your bloodstream, protecting you from type 2 diabetes. Your muscles produce specific proteins that protect your brain from cognitive decline. And most crucially, your leg and core muscles are your only physical defense against gravity. They are the only things stopping you from falling and ending up in a nursing home. But as we age past 60, our bodies become incredibly stubborn. We develop a condition called anabolic resistance. This means your body is constantly looking for an excuse to break down muscle, and it requires a massive, perfectly timed signal to build or even maintain it. Now, keeping that in mind, let us look at what happens inside your body when you wake up in the morning. When you wake up at 7 a.m., you have just completed an 8 to 10-hour fast. While you were sleeping, your brain, your heart, and your lungs continued to burn energy to keep you alive. Because you were not eating, your body relied on the stored sugar in your liver, called liver glycogen, to survive the night. By the time you wake up, your liver's fuel tank is almost completely empty. Your blood sugar is naturally at its lowest point of the entire day. Simultaneously, your body initiates a natural biological alarm clock to wake you up. It floods your bloodstream with cortisol. We often call cortisol the stress hormone, but in the morning, it is a mobilization hormone. It gets you out of bed. This massive spike is called the cortisol awakening response. So you wake up, your liver is empty, your blood sugar is low, your cortisol is peaking. In this exact highly sensitive chemical environment, you put on your shoes and walk out the door to do 3 miles of cardiovascular exercise. Your brain immediately realizes that your legs are demanding a massive amount of energy to perform this walk. The brain looks to the liver for sugar. The liver says, "I am empty. I used it all keeping us alive last night." The brain panics. It needs fuel, and it needs it right now, or you will collapse. Because cortisol is surging through your veins, it triggers a catastrophic biological backup plan. This backup plan is called gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis literally translates to the creation of new sugar. Your brain commands your body to find anything it can to turn into sugar. Now, you might think, great, it will burn my belly fat. But that is the tragedy. Fat is a very slow-burning fuel. It takes a long time to convert fat into energy, and your legs need energy immediately. So your body ignores the belly fat. Instead, it looks at your skeletal muscle. Muscle is made of amino acids, which can be rapidly and easily converted into glucose. Under the command of cortisol, your body begins to literally break down the muscle fibers in your legs, your glutes, and your back. It rips the amino acids out of your muscles, ships them to the liver, converts them into sugar, and burns them to fuel your walk. You are literally eating your own leg muscles just to put one foot in front of the other. In the medical community, we call this a catabolic state. To use a simple analogy, imagine you are freezing cold in your living room, but you have no firewood. Instead of going outside to chop wood, you start breaking apart your beautiful antique wooden furniture and throwing it into the fireplace just to stay warm. Yes, you generate heat, but you are destroying the structural integrity of your house. When a 25-year-old does fasted cardio, their youthful hormones protect their muscles, and they recover quickly. But according to groundbreaking sports gerontology research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, an older adult lacks those protective hormones. When a senior exercises in a fasted state, it violently exacerbates sarcopenia. It blunts the body's ability to synthesize new proteins for the rest of the entire day. You do this every morning for a year, and the result is inevitable. Your legs get visibly thinner. Your knees start to ache because the muscles supporting the joint have been cannibalized. Your balance becomes shaky. You lose the explosive power needed to catch yourself if you trip on a rug. And the cruelest irony of all? Because you are losing muscle mass, your baseline metabolism slows down to a crawl. Muscle is what burns calories. When you lose muscle, your body actually stores more belly fat to compensate for the lowered metabolic rate. You are doing the work, you are walking the miles, and your biology is punishing you for it. This is the blind spot. This is what the fitness magazines refuse to explain to the senior population. You must never, under any circumstances, demand intense mechanical work from an aging body without giving it the biological permission to protect itself first. So, how do we fix this? How do we keep the beautiful, life-saving habit of the morning walk, but completely shut down the destructive process of gluconeogenesis? We do it by using the Healthy Years protocol. This protocol is a brilliant, incredibly simple biological hack. It does not require you to eat a massive, heavy breakfast that makes you feel sluggish or nauseous while walking. It simply requires a chemical signal. Here are the 3 precise steps you must take tomorrow morning before you tie your walking shoes. Step 1 of the protocol, the 20-minute fuel signal. Exactly 20 to 30 minutes before you step out the door for your walk, you must send a chemical signal to your brain that says, "We are not starving. Do not touch the muscle." You do this by consuming a tiny, highly specific combination of easily digestible carbohydrates and protein. I call this a micro meal. You want to eat about 100 to 150 calories. The perfect example is half of a small banana paired with 2 tablespoons of plain Greek yogurt, or a small handful of blueberries with half a scoop of high-quality whey protein mixed in water, or even a single slice of apple smeared with 1 teaspoon of almond butter. Here is the magic of what happens when you eat this tiny micro meal. The small amount of carbohydrate immediately enters your bloodstream as a gentle rise in glucose. In response, your pancreas releases a tiny pulse of insulin. In the fitness world, people are taught to fear insulin. But in this specific morning scenario, insulin is your greatest protector. Insulin is a powerful anti-catabolic hormone. The absolute microsecond that insulin enters your bloodstream, it acts like a biochemical stop sign. It forcefully shuts down the production of cortisol. It immediately blocks the liver from performing gluconeogenesis. By eating those 2 bites of food, you have completely locked the vault where your muscles are stored. The body cannot break down your muscle tissue even if it wants to. Then, when you begin your walk, your body will burn through that tiny amount of food energy in the first 5 minutes. But because insulin has shut down the muscle-burning pathway and your body still needs fuel for the remaining 2 miles, it is forced to do exactly what you wanted it to do all along. It unlocks your adipose tissue. It starts burning your stored body fat. You have saved your muscles and you are finally targeting the fat. Step 2 of the protocol, the golden recovery window. Once you finish your walk, your muscles have been stimulated. But remember, as an older adult, you have anabolic resistance. Your muscles are stubborn. They need a massive hammer to begin the rebuilding process. Within 1 hour of finishing your walk, you must eat your actual full breakfast. And this breakfast must hit what geriatric researchers call the leucine threshold. Leucine is a specific amino acid that acts like the ignition key to a car. If you do not get enough leucine in one sitting, the car will not start and your muscles will not rebuild. To turn the key, an aging body needs about 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein in that post-walk meal. This means a bowl of plain oatmeal will not work. A piece of toast with jam will not work. You need to consume 3 whole eggs alongside a piece of high-protein toast, or a full cup of cottage cheese, or a protein shake formulated with a full scoop of whey or a high-quality plant-based equivalent. When you flood your system with 35 grams of protein shortly after your walk, the leucine turns the key, the engine roars to life, and your body takes all the amino acids you just ate and weaves them directly into your legs, your core, and your back. You are actively reversing sarcopenia. Step 3 of the protocol, the resistance shift. Walking is phenomenal for your heart, your blood vessels, and your brain. But we must be brutally honest about its limitations. Walking is a low-impact cardiovascular endurance event. It is not a muscle-building event. If you want to maintain your independence, you must force your muscles to adapt to resistance. And you can do this without ever stepping foot inside a crowded, intimidating commercial gym. 2 days a week, I want you to redefine your morning walk. Instead of walking 3 miles at a steady pace, I want you to walk just 1 mile. But during that 1 mile, I want you to stop 3 separate times. When you stop, I want you to find a sturdy park bench. Face the bench and perform 10 slow, controlled standing push-ups against the back of the bench. Then, turn around and perform 10 slow, controlled chair squats, sitting down onto the bench and standing back up using the power of your legs. By simply adding 30 bench push-ups and 30 squats to your walking routine twice a week, you are introducing resistance. You are forcing the type 2 muscle fibers, the fast twitch fibers that are responsible for catching you when you trip, to activate and grow. You are sending a localized biological signal to your bones to lay down new calcium, fighting off osteoporosis. Let us review this protocol because this is the exact blueprint for maintaining your physical freedom for the next 20 years. First, absolutely no more fasted cardio. Never go on a morning walk with an empty fuel tank. Consume a 100-calorie micro meal, like half a banana and a bite of yogurt, 20 minutes before you leave the house to trigger an insulin pulse, shut down cortisol, and protect your muscle tissue from being cannibalized. Second, respect the golden window. Eat a robust breakfast containing 30 to 40 grams of high-quality protein within an hour of returning home to trigger muscle protein synthesis and rebuild the damage. And third, redefine the walk. Twice a week, sacrifice distance for resistance. Add simple bodyweight movements like bench push-ups and squats to your route to actively build the fast-twitch muscle fibers that keep you out of a wheelchair. When you understand the rules of your aging metabolism, exercise stops being a chore that drains your energy, and it becomes the ultimate tool for cellular regeneration. You are not a victim of your age. Your body is simply waiting for the correct biological instructions. Before we part ways today, I have a deeply important request. Think about your walking partner. Think about that friend, that neighbor, or that spouse who faithfully sets their alarm, skips breakfast, and walks for miles every single morning because they are desperately trying to do the right thing for their health. They are following outdated advice that is actively destroying their mobility. They do not know about gluconeogenesis. They do not know they are breaking down their own legs. Please, Take 10 seconds right now and share this video with them. Send them the link in an email or a text message. You do not need to lecture them. Just say, "I saw this and I thought of our morning walks." You could be the exact reason they avoid a devastating fall 3 years from now. You could be the reason they maintain the strength to play with their grandchildren. Sharing true biological knowledge is one of the greatest acts of care we can offer. If this video opened your eyes today, and if you appreciate deep, respectful, scientifically verified medical education without the fluff, I invite you to hit the subscribe button right now. Join the Healthy Years community. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next medical deep dive. We are building an incredible movement of adults who refuse to fade away quietly and who are taking active control of their physical independence. My name is Dr. Evermont. It has been an absolute privilege to share this science with you today. Keep questioning, keep moving intelligently, and remember, with the right biological roadmap, your best, most vibrant, healthy years are still ahead of you. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.